Hey guys. Okay, so I wanted to show you kind of how to get started, or sort of an in progress piece on this animal and pattern. So this is the paper size we're working in class. Like I said, if you can't get anything this big, don't stress about it. Use, a piece of notebook paper, just please, or I'm sorry, a piece of white computer paper. No notebook paper, okay? We don't want the lines. They're very distracting. If you can't get it, this size, you can do that, but don't go any smaller than that. Because I want to see that you are practicing your shapes and your lines. So our first thing is we want to choose an animal, right? So I chose a jaguar. And you can see that I've drawn him in pencil, and I've used shapes to draw all of his spots. And then I'm starting to go in with some lines and give him some texture, like on his fuzzy tail. So I'm just using short little lines. You don't have to fill him in all the way, okay? I'm just gonna do like the outline, and I may go back in with my marker and color in some of these black lines, okay? And I got some whiskers. Here's his little mouth, all right? Now, mine's a little bit realistic. I looked at a photo as a reference, so use your resources. Look on the internet, or if you've got a picture of your dog or your cat, or if you want to do something imaginary like a unicorn or a dragon, or maybe you even have a favorite character. Someone's drawing Jake from Adventure Time in class, which is really great. We've also got someone doing a Sonic the Hedgehog. So we've got lots of options. All right, so once you finish doing the pencil work on your animal, and I've got a little bit of like grass and leaves that was in my picture, so I'm gonna put that in too. Just simple lines, okay? You can see it's not super hyper detailed, and that's okay. He doesn't have to be really realistic at all. Use your personal style, okay? So pick your favorite animal. You can do anything. After you finish drawing him, you guys want to start splitting up the background. So you could do lots of things. I use kind of these wavy lines. You could even get a ruler or something straight, and you could draw like rays coming out like this to split up your background. Maybe you do some interesting lines in the middle like this. Yeah, okay? So you just want to split your background up. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Maybe try to do at least like 5 to 8 different sections to do patterns. So then in each little section, I want you to try and use lines and shapes to do some different patterns. So you can see some of the ones I have started. I'm gonna do some more for you guys now. So maybe in here, and I'm just gonna freehand this. You can totally freehand, or you can use a ruler if you like things to be a little more, straight. All right, so I'm just making squares inside of it themselves, and here, maybe in this one, I'm gonna do a squiggly line, and I'm just gonna repeat it. So I'm just gonna pick one thing and repeat it, like this. Maybe in this one, I do circles. So it doesn't need to be too complicated. Try to challenge yourself though. Try to fill up as much of the space as possible for you. But remember, these are gonna be due at the end of the day on Sunday. So you've got the rest of the week to work on them. But the goal is, so you use your animal, you give him some texture with lines and shapes, and then you practice repeating different lines and shapes in each of these sections. So really simple. And see, I'm not spending a great deal of time making things super duper perfect and detailed. I'm just having fun with it. All right? So you'll finish it off like that. So once you've filled in the whole space, that's when you'll take either a black ink pen, okay, it's like this, or if you've got a Sharpie marker, that's a great choice. Black ink pen is fine. So then I'm gonna start going in, and I'm gonna start outlining and tracing everything that I did in pencil. And remember, I can play with the thickness of my line, so maybe it's a little thicker in some places. Right? Drawing all of his spots. And maybe this is when I kind of come in and fill in some of these spots like that. All right, so that's how you're going to finish up. You're going to outline everything in the black pen. If you use a Sharpie, maybe I'll use a Sharpie on some of these lines. It's going to be a little thicker, right? You can mix and match if you want. Sometimes I like to mix and match. So I've got some Sharpie, I've got some pen, some things are thinner, but everything's going to be nice and outlined, like so. All right, so last step. So if I finish kind of this part, kind of coloring it in a little bit. Got this spot here. And then I have some kind of like furry lines here. Got one more spot. And then I'm gonna color these in. So once I get those done, I'm actually gonna come back in with my pencil and I'm gonna erase some of those excess pencil lines. So be careful that your pen is dry. Mine is a little wet, so it's smudged a little bit. Now it's starting to look nice and clean. All right, so that'll be it. And then you'll have a nice finished piece. All right, guys. I'll show you my finished piece when I'm done, but until then, start working.